Welcome back, Real Tough Talk. Thank y'all for coming back with us. The next games we're gonna jump on is Young and Reckless versus Primetime. Now, Young and Reckless coming in with a win. Young and Reckless B team played Gravedigger's C team and they was able to beat them 2019, as Primetime's B team was able to beat the YG's C team 20-14. Primetime is coming in 3-3, as Young and Reckless is coming in 2-3-1. Thing about Young and Reckless, listen, we haven't seen them play well this season. You have to say it's been a disappointing season. Now, this team is definitely capable of being competitive. One of their best games they had was versus Blackout, which the game was 0-0 at halftime. They ended up losing that game 22-21. So this team is definitely competitive. Definitely. In their last three games, which they went 1-2, unfortunately, they lost to Blackout 22-21. They lost to YG's 21-20. And they beat Gravediggers 2019. So it's been a lot of close games. But they just haven't had that cohesiveness that we usually see these guys do. They seem to be just not able to really put the game away. They're always trying to make a comeback, or they're always trying to barely hold on to a lead. And I think that's the reason for the record that they have right now at 2-3-1. I think something is going on in that camp, that they don't have the ability to really get the momentum going and just execute throughout the whole game.
But one thing that I've noticed that has been a problem for me throughout when I watch this team play is that fire is not there for this team. One thing you always see when you see these guys on Young and Reckless, whatever their team is named, because they come into this league with different names, but you see the same core guys. They always have that fire, that energy that they just bring to the game. And I don't see that same fire in this team for some reason. I don't know what it is, but they don't seem like that same fiery team that I enjoy watching. And that's kind of what's maybe, in my opinion, reflecting on their record right now. And it's unfortunate to see.
And Primetime has improved. I was kind of hard on them in the beginning of the season. Right now this team is 3-3. I was a little hard on them because their first two games, they averaged 6 points. They scored 6-1 game. It actually averaged 3 points. They scored 6-1 game, and the next game they didn't score, or vice versa. Bottom line, they only scored 6 points in 2 games, and they went 0-2. So, I was questioning the offense. Maybe they need a quarterback change. And Mach has stepped it up. Got to give it to him. In the last few games, he's been putting up points. They've been up there scoring, I believe, 22 points a game, a little over 20. So he's definitely got the scoring up, and he's starting to really get comfortable with this primetime offense. I think they have to learn to be a little more dominant, because there's no way your B team just squeaked out a win versus the C team. They should have been a little more, formidable. So I think this is a good opportunity for them really to show the ability to get a team out early. This is the game that they should do it.
One thing that I said from the very beginning, early this season, is that the speed that they move, Mach moves with the rest of Primetime's offense. They don't always match up all the time. They're not consistent with that earlier this season. It seems like they're starting to fall in place. Everything's starting to fall in place, and that's reflective in the way that they're able to score now. They're able to get on the same page. They're connected together, and I think that's only a benefit that you can. That is only a benefit when you look at how this team has been playing lately. So the fact that they're connecting together, their offense is playing better, now you can really see where this team stands with the rest of the league now that they're performing at a better rate than they were before.
All right, we're going to jump into this game right now. After getting the first down, Melvin throws to TJ, cutting in the middle for a decent gain. Third and goal, Melvin throws a Poppy, cutting in the end zone, but he lands out of bounds, incomplete. 4th and goal. Melvin on 5 rush. Throws it to Poppy again in the back of the end zone. Knocked away by Earl. Turnover announced. Big stop by Primetime.
And this is them paying attention right away, right off the bat. They're able to close out the gaps and knock passes down. That's the way that Primetime needs to perform early in the game to keep the other team out of whack as they get their offense back on the field.
First down, Mach hands the ball over to Chris with blocking, runs into the gap for a decent gain. 3rd down, Mach throws a Nas wide open in the gap. That's going to be dropped. 4th down, Mach on 5 rush, throws a row wide open in the gap. Drop, turnover on downs. They don't able to capitalize on the turnover. And if you look at Mach's face, his expression gives it all up. I've killed this man earlier for not scoring. He stepped it up scoring after that. But now it's like his receivers ain't helping him out. These are some key drops by 2 good receivers.
And maybe that was one of the reasons in the beginning that he was not necessarily matching up with the receivers early. I don't know. Maybe that's a possible reason. But right here is not reflective of how your offense is supposed to move, especially when you have 2 guys that are regularly known to catch passes, dropping wide open passes that ends up turning over the ball. This could have been a different drive altogether.
Melvin throws the fish in the gap for a decent gain. 2nd down, Melvin throws deep the fish on the sideline. Overthrow, incomplete. If you look here, Guns and Machine are wide open in the gap, but he takes a shot. 4th down, Melvin throws it up, knocked away by Meek, turnover on downs. Melvin is trying to do too much on his own. I don't understand what's going on, that he's not hitting Guns with the ball, but he's not hitting Guns with the ball or Machine on this drive, and they end up turning it over.
This is not looking good. The fact that Melvin is overlooking certain receivers that's wide open to take shots downfield, this is uncharacteristic of Melvin, and this is not a good drive to start doing stuff that he doesn't normally do, and that leads to a turnover.
Mach throws short to Chris with blocking from Pratt, runs a decent game, picking up the 1st down. 2nd down, Mach throws a route, cutting in the middle, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. Nas gets the extra point, 7-0, Primetime. If you look here, both safeties lead to guard Meek and Nas, leaving Bro wide open. Those are some good receivers. You have Meek, you have Nas, and now you have Rel. If you can get these guys in that cohesiveness with the quarterback, they can put up points against anybody.
And the fact that you can use Nas and Meek as decoys to get other receivers open is a problem for defenses, because you have to respect Nas and Meek cutting in certain gaps, and you have to follow where they are. You cannot leave these guys open, unfortunately, because they're concentrated so much on them that they leave Rel wide open in the back of the end zone.
After getting the 1st down, Melvin throws a Poppy on the sideline. That's going to be dropped. 2nd down, Melvin on 5 rush, runs in the gap, but is tagged by Joe for a short gain.
Joe.
Not John.
Not John.
Joe.
Joe.
I don't know who John is, but this is Joe.
Like Joe's Pizza. You ever heard of that place?
Okay.
I just made it up. It got to be a Joe's Pizza somewhere in the world.
Okay.
But we get the idea. 3rd down, Melvin on 5 rush, throws it up to X, one-on-one with Moss. Passes short, picked off by Moss, giving it back to Primetime. If you look here, Guns and Machines is open again in the gaps, and Melvin throws an interception.
And this is not an accident now. The fact that it happened 2 times in a row, it seems like now it looks like Melvin is just throwing it up. He's not throwing it to these guys. I have my theories as to why, but I'm not going to voice that right now. I'm going to wait until the end of the game. But right now, this is not a good look. This is not an accident right here. If you see 2 similar plays that's causing 2 similar turnovers, something is going on with Melvin. He is not in the right place right now, and he's giving up drives right now.
Mach throws a disco in the middle, who runs for a nice game. After getting the 1st down, Mach throws a disco on the sideline for a decent game. Primetime can't get any closer, unfortunately, and they're going to end up turning over the ball.
All that yardage gained, but they're not able to get into the end zone. This is a missed opportunity. The fact that they could use this drive right here to try their best to put the game away, but they're leaving the points on the table and giving this young and reckless team a chance to recover.
Melvin on 1st down, throws it on 5 rush, picked off by Meek, giving the ball right back to Primetime. And that's a big interception by Melvin, his 2nd of the game. And if you look here, Guns is open again on the sideline.
This, again, 3 times in a row, this time with another interception. This is not an accident. This is not just, him seeing something and it's just going for it. This is not an accident. It's like he's just throwing it up and is overlooking certain receivers short. I don't know what it is, but they got to talk about this, because now this is becoming a very bad habit.
Well, Mach's last play of the half, throws it up in the end zone. Nas makes the catch over Poppy in the end zone for the touchdown. 13-0 taking us into half. And somebody do me a favor, get that baby out of the street. Get that baby out of the street. This man jumped to the ninth floor and unfortunately left Poppy on the third. Wow.
It's when you see that there's nobody that's able to guard it, you're definitely going to go for it, and they get it on this touchdown. Primetime right now, it looked like even though they had a hiccup on one drive, they're still looking good on offense. They're able to put up points. Looking better than they did in the first half. They're looking like they're connecting. They're moving the ball. Even if they didn't score on that last drive, they were still able to move the ball. And their defense is not giving any inches for this young and reckless team to get any momentum going in this game. They're looking good in the first half. More of that in the second they need.
Young and reckless is playing like they don't want to be here. You had the ball twice. You had the ball 3 times. Sorry. You had the ball 4 times. Mm-hmm. You got stopped twice and then threw back-to-back interceptions. This second interception you threw was on first down. Something is going on with this core because it's not working. They do not look like the same team that we expected them to be. They do not like they're on the same page, and the wheels are falling off right now. Got to figure a way to change it around. I don't really know what to say, but it's not looking good at all. We're going to jump into the second half. After getting that first down, Mach with 3 passes to Chris for a decent game. 4th and goal, Mach finds Meek in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Nobody's talking on defense. 19-0, prime time.
And this is not okay. We've been talking about Melvin and this offense of this young and reckless team struggling to score points. But when you have the defense not able to hold or stop them from scoring, it doesn't help your offense at all. Their momentum, their morale is gone at this point where no matter what they do, it doesn't matter because the defense is going to give up points anyway. So one falls into the other. The fact that the defense is not able to get anything done, it could be because the offense is struggling, but the offense is struggling because the defense isn't looking good. So this whole team is looking terrible right now, and Primetime is looking like they can do whatever they want, and it's showing on the scoreboard.
After getting the first down, Melvin throws deep to Poppy in the gap. Almost picked up by Moss. Guns open short. Doesn't go to him. Second down, Melvin throws deep to Kaheem, cutting in the back of the end zone. Picked off by Meek. Giving it back to Primetime. Guns is open again. Melvin is going to end up calling the game. Primetime with the win. 19-0 over Young and Reckless.
Good win for Primetime. They did whatever they was allowed to do, which is win this game, score a lot of points, and get a few interceptions in this game. So they did whatever they wanted to do. But I gotta speak about. Remember, I spoke about earlier about my theory of Young and Reckless.
Right.
That last loss that they had, that was in their hands.
Yeah.
That was a drop pass
To the Raiders that they just
to the
had
Raiders
earlier.
that they just had. They had an opportunity. That's Melvin's team. This team is really Mills' team. Mills is the starting quarterback for this B team. So he's filling in. But his team lost. So him coming into this game, he wasn't 100% in this game. And you saw that with the way he was throwing up the ball. Notice that a lot of times he was not throwing it to certain guys either. He didn't look at Machine at all. He didn't look at Guns at all. Maybe Guns was because he dropped that touchdown pass to cause him to lose that game. But he did not look at Guns at all in this game. He hardly looked at Machine either. So I don't know if it's because he's not vibing with these guys from, brother from Young and Reckless or whatever. I don't know if it's because of specific guys on his team that he decided to join this season that he's not vibing with. I don't know. It may be an internal problem, but they got to deal with it because regardless of what it says on their record, the playoffs are a different animal, and they have the team to compete. It's frustrating to see them this way, to see them look like they're starting to fall apart and they're willing to give up. I can't accept that for them, and they shouldn't accept it either. It's not over, but they need to fix this problem and fix it fast because it's looking horrible right now, and it's showing in this pathetic score right now. In this game, I mean.
I'm going to go over both games really quick. Tell you what's going on, what I see. Young and Reckless is something going on internally. It's obvious. Tell you how you know. You don't have your last 3 games coming into this. You lose 22-21, 21-20. You win 20-19, and now you lose 19-0, where Primetime could have scored more points on you. All of a sudden, you don't come out and play like that unless you don't want to be here. I'm going to show you some key plays on some key drives. We're going to start with the second drive on second down. Look who he throws to, Fish. He throws a bomb to Fish. Look who's open on the side. Guns and Machine, opening the gap. He doesn't throw to him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then, look on this next drive. Third down. 5 rush. He throws it up to X one-on-one with Moss. That's picked off by Moss. Look in the gaps again. Guns and Machine, open. Let's look at the other drive. Next drive after that. Melvin on first down. On 5 rush. Throws it up. Picked off by Meek. Look on the sideline. Guns is open. Then we're going to go again. Melvin throws deep to Kaheem, cutting in the back of the end zone. It's only second down. It's picked off by Meek. If you look, Guns is in the gap. And Melvin ends up calling the game. Those are several plays I showed you. Now, one, Melvin carried over what happened in the first game. He definitely did. Because Guns dropped the game-tying touchdown.
Yeah.
Guns talks a lot. He does. This is his game. Doesn't work with Melvin. Your style isn't going to work with everybody. Yelling at Melvin when he's coming from a system where he didn't have to go through that doesn't work. Now, Young and Reckless won a chip, I believe, in the summer. They won. Young and Reckless, right? Am I right?
I believe so.
I think they just won a chip before they moved up. First of all, Young and Reckless is Mills' team.
Yeah.
But it's the same players. So I don't understand how you be struggling in one division and not another. That makes no sense if it's the same team. So we're not going to use that as an excuse. The problem is there is no head to this group. There is no Michael Jackson to the Jackson 5. You get it? There's nobody to sit down and say, all right, guys, I'm the best player. This is what we're going to do. You would expect guys like Machine to do that. But Machine is too busy being an intimidator to other teams. So he's not doing that on his team. Zeke isn't known for being that type of leader. You know, Mills has struggled at times to be that leader. Melvin is used to being the leader.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys don't respect him.
Yeah.
And you can see it in his face. These guys don't know that Melvin has the last word and that's it. He's their quarterback. He shows he's capable of scoring. And then in 2 games, coming back from the first game, this team dropped close to 7 passes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't build confidence in your quarterback. But Melvin needs to stop being a baby and grabbing his ball and going home. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
If it's not working, quit. But if you're here for the long haul, then your job is to respect the name on the front and not the back. If you're not having fun, then leave. But you knew this. You was laughing and playing when y'all were winning. It's different now.
Yeah.
This team right now is 2-4. 2-4-1. Right?
Yeah.
Tied with Newbury, who is 2-4-1. Newbury beat them. So right now, they are in 7th place. And their next game, they play the number 2 Shockers. And YG's plays Primetime. If YG's can win that game and end up ending the season 3-5, Young and Reckless lose that game, they'll end up 2-5-1 and now give them last seed. What happens if you get the last seed?
You have to play the top team.
Which is blackout.
Yeah.
You're going to get smoked.
Yeah.
So they got to put it together now. Other side, Primetime. Play great. Play great. Their last 3 games, this team, if you look, listen, this team has turned around. The last 4 games, they scored a total combined of 88 points. 22 points a game. They're 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
They've been playing football. But you can't fall in love with it. They have to know that there's still a bigger picture, because right now this team is only 4-3. And the 4 teams that this team's beat, this team is 4-3. The 4 teams that they beat, you know what the team combined record is that they beat? 8-16. They beat YGs, New Breed, Gravediggers, and now Young and Reckless. 8-16. Those are the bottom teams. The top teams that they played, that they lost to, are 16-5. So they haven't beaten winning teams. And I know they heard that in the C2 division, and they got on me saying, well, OTF, who I was talking about in that division, didn't beat good teams either. Yes, I give you that. But now this is proof. The top 3 teams that are on top of you, that all beat you, are all teams with winning records. And all the teams that you beat with losing records,
Yeah.
how do you count it? So at the end of the day, they can't fall asleep with this wins. At the end of the day, it comes down to the playoffs. They have to beat YGs. They beat YGs. They can move up in the standings, and then you play or you play. At the end of the day is, I'm not making a cake for this team because they still got a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
The only credit, the real credit I'm going to give them is they very much improved that offense. Macho really proved me wrong that he should be the starting quarterback of this team. I got to tip my hat and give it to him, because the guy did play well this last few games. So you got to give him that. We're going to wrap this one up with Primetime beating Young and Reckless 19-0. We'll be right back.
Watch out. Let it go. Let's go, man.
Wow, son.
So with that?
Yeah.
That was sexy.
I went right to him, too.
Right to him.
All right. Next game, what we want to talk about is Primetime versus Suicide Squad. Now, Primetime is coming in with a close loss to Shockers, 14-12. And Suicide Squad is coming in off of a win to New Breed, 26-16. New Breed's coming in, Suicide Squad's coming in hot. They won their last 3 games. Definitely a team that has turned it around and showed their ability to win games. But this is a huge game for them right now, facing a team like Primetime, who is a top team in this division. So you could really prove the type of team you are when you could win this game. You could really prove the type of team you are if you could come away with this game if you're Suicide Squad.
Honestly, this game is more of a needed win, whereas the other one against New Breed was a game that, okay, they can prove that they can compete with other divisions. This one is more important, obviously, because you're competing for a certain spot going into who you play, determining who you play in the playoffs. So this is more important, directly more important.
Yep.
You know, so they have an opportunity to win this game the way that they've been playing lately. You know, they've been stepping it up. They've been stepping up their game. They had a slow start, but they're looking good right now. But this Primetime team, I would say that their offense is something that this Suicide Squad team needs to watch out for. Creep has been settling in as a consistent quarterback, you know, barring some decision making he makes every now and then. But other than that, I think that he is a quarterback that can put up points. One thing I could say is with Primetime, they always have a quarterback that can put up points, regardless of what division it is. And this C team is no different, you know. But we got to see if Primetime is able to show that offensive consistency with against a defense like Suicide Squad.
All right, we're going to jump right to the game. On the return, Moss runs on the sideline all the way to the 25-yard line for an out. Great play by Mars. I love the fact that he took it and just tried to get as much yards as he can. Good return there. After a short run by Creep, Creep finds Rel open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Juan gets a 2-point conversion, 8-0. Primetime takes the lead. If you look at, nobody tells Dev to pick Rel up behind him. It didn't matter. That's a mismatch, and I love the fact that Creep saw it and attacked it.
But the fact that a lot of receivers are rolling out depending on where Creep is going and where the receivers are lining up. They're following and not seeing Rel cut right through them. Dev is guarding the front, but there's no receiver there. So somebody in the back has to tell him to back up. Yes, he's a short guy. Yes, it may be a mismatch, but it doesn't matter. I would rather have Dev on Rel than nobody on Rel. So at the end of the day, that's a missed opportunity to make a defensive play and at least a touchdown.
On the kickoff, the ball is going to bounce off of G and be recovered by Creep. G can't make that mistake. That is a huge mistake by G. He's looking for somebody to hit, but didn't find himself hitting the ball, giving it back to Primetime.
The sad part is he's not even aware that the ball hits him until it's too late.
Right.
He's turned the opposite way, looking for somebody to either block or hit or anything like that. So it bounces right off the back of his foot. By the time he turns around and realizes it, there's not much he can do, and Primetime recovers the ball. I'm not going to kill him there, but still, it's not something that you want to happen at this point of the game.
Second down, Creep throws deep to Meek on the sideline. Picked off by Mimi, giving it right back to Suicide Squad. Creep throws right into coverage. If you look here, Rel is open short, and that's the problem I have with Creep, his decision making.
And two things. The obvious point that Rel is open on the sideline. That's the obvious point. As he throws to Meek here on this play, it's not necessarily that it was a bad decision here, but look at when he throws it. This play, and you got to be aware as a receiver. Meek is a good receiver, but this is a play where you got to say, you know what, I have this gap, let me stop here. Rather than run into the defense, have the quarterback throw into the defense, Meek standing right there, he gets the ball sailing right in his hands for the interception.
Third down, Hecko throws a Rico cutting on the sideline. Rico cuts inside, getting past Meek, runs into the score for the touchdown. Mimi gets an extra point, the 2-point conversion, 8-8. If you look here, Meek points him out too late. Rico's a guy you got to talk about. Now, when I first got here, I wasn't a fan. I thought he talked too much. But now, he kind of calmed down to talking more of in a leadership role. But the kid has always been a playmaker, and he's getting better. He knows what he can do and how he can turn it up. Turns it up here for 6 points.
And the fact that he's able to get the ball in space and make it and cut once inside and he's gone for the touchdown. You give guys like this space to make moves as soon as he gets the ball in the gap, and it's trouble. And that's exactly what you see here. He's able to make some moves in space and run it and extend the play all the way into the end zone for the score.
Second down, Creep throws a Pratt, cutting in the gap for a decent gain, picking up the first down. Then a few plays later, on second down, Creep on 5 rush, runs in the gap, getting to the 11-yard line. 4th and goal, Creep throws a Juan in the front of the end zone. As he gets the ball, Red gets a hand in. Juan can't hold on to it, turnover on downs. Was this a catch?
And this was something that was disputed, during the play. Primetime believes that he had possession of the ball and it was just knocked out. But if you look here, as soon as Juan gets the ball in his hands, it's not certain if he has full control. Right when he grabs it and he goes to pull it in, Red knocks it out. So at the end of the day, was he in full possession of it? It didn't look so, because as soon as anything happened, before he even got a chance to hold possession of the ball, it comes out. So the ruling was it was incomplete pass, and that is a turnover. Regardless of what happened, Juan has to hold on to that ball. These are plays that usually happen. You have to hold grip to that ball. He doesn't here, and leads to a turnover.
I think it's a great call. I don't think he had it long enough to score. They say you got to have it long enough to make an offensive move or something like that. He didn't even have a chance to react when the ball was knocked out. I think that's a great call by the officials. Third down, Hecko on 5 rush, throws a Dev in the gap. Nice game for a first down. Hecko's going to throw the Dev again, cutting in the middle for a decent game. 4th and goal. Hecko with blocking from G, throws the Mimi on the sideline, caught out of bounds, but Joe is flagged for offsides, giving them an extra play again. Hecko's going to find G in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 14-8, Suicide Squad. Tell me about the offsides that got them the down over.
And this is unfortunate for the defense because they make a stop, potentially for a turnover. But if you see here, as Joe tries to rush in, he rushes in on 4 too early, and by then the players, by then, it's already too late. So that's unfortunate. Joe tries to make a play, but he runs in too early. That gives them another shot, and they end up scoring on the next play.
Primetime's going to get the ball back. It's going to be 4 and out. Second down, Creep throws around on the sideline for a decent gain. Third down, Creep throws in Meek with Red guard him incomplete. But if you look here, Pig is open in the gap, but he doesn't turn around. That's a big mishap by Pig. Fourth down, Creep throws it up, incomplete, but offsides on the giver. Replay again. What do you think of that play first?
And this one, it looks like Rich steps up to make a chuck early in the play. But while doing it, he ends up stepping over the line. He gets flagged. That leads to a free play, and they have another chance to score.
And what happens? Creep throws to Meek, who beats Jody in the back of the end zone for the touchdown, taking us into the half. 14-14. Meek is a monster. This guy can make some plays. I've always killed him saying not that he didn't have a ability. It was inconsistency that was my thing against him. But when this guy balls out, he balls out, and Creep knows exactly where to find him. That's going to take us into half.
And the fact that you got to respect him no matter what part of the field that he's on just shows how much potential this receiver has. And the thing about this play is, as he cuts in the back of the end zone, Jody reacts too late. By the time he's able to keep up with Meek, it's too late. Meek is already in the air getting the ball for the score. So you do not let a guy like Meek get that much space, especially in the end zone, because then it's going to be too late to react, and Meek comes down with it.
Suicide Squad. If I'm Suicide Squad, I'm okay. We had the ball 3 times. We scored twice. We fumbled 1 possession on the kickoff. I'm not worrying about that. We're still okay. But we got to slow down Meek. He's moving around too much. We have to slow down Relly. He already scored. We have to find a way to stop allowing these guys to make big plays on us. If we can do that, we'll be okay, because they cannot stop Dev and Rico. They cannot stop those 2 guys. Those 2 guys are too small. Those guys are too quick, and they make big plays. So Hecko got to keep getting them the ball in space, and defense has to come up with a way to slow down this primetime passing attack.
On Primetime, 2 things that they should focus on. 1, making sure that Creep got to make sure that he makes better decisions when he's on offense. He's able to score 14 points, but they left a lot of points on the table in this half. So Creep got to know to throw certain passes that he needs to throw. Make sure that they're in certain gaps. Don't try to do too much, and I think that he'll be just fine. The second thing is, force Hecko to win the game for the Suicide Squad team. Knowing Hecko, sometimes he makes plays, but he's not always consistent at the quarterback position. Make him win the game for this team. Let our defense lock up on these receivers, force Hecko to make something happen. And more times than not, Hecko's going to make a mistake. So our defense needs to hold. Make sure that Rico and Dev is watched. They don't get too many plays in the gaps. Force Hecko to make some happen. Eventually, he's going to make a mistake, and our defense is going to be able to capitalize.
We're going to jump into the second half. During the onside, the ball bounces over the line. Recovered by Pret, giving it back to Primetime. If you look at it, team was telling Dev to let the ball go, which gave Primetime and Pret the opportunity to make a play, and they do.
There's no words for that play right there.
It's idiotic. I'm going to jump in real quick. Dev returns in A Division League.
Yes.
He returned in EHS. I'm sorry. He returned in City Island. He returned in BQFL. He's a return guy.
Yeah.
Why would you tell a guy who makes his money returning the ball, don't touch the ball?
And that's the thing where I almost have no words for how this play unfolded. You can hear on the video, they tell him, let it go, let it go, let it go. So Dev lets it go, and Primetime picks it up. When it gets that close, you do not take that chance.
Exactly.
You go and get the ball. Even if you lose the first down, it's not worth giving up possession. Think about which is worse. Giving up the first down, giving up possession. Which is worse? I think the logical conclusion is you give up the possession is the worst thing you could do, but that's exactly what they do here.
Creep rolls deep to Pig, cutting on the sideline. Pig cuts from the sideline. Nobody picks him up for the touchdown. 20-14, Primetime. Right when we didn't talk about Pig, we talked about Rel, we talked about Meek. Pig steps in and makes the attack going. This guy has been playing great this season offensively. I said he needs to stay on offense. He never needs to play defense again because it takes away from his offense. This guy is a weapon, and for him to have the ability to go down for that ball and make a sliding catch, love it. Great play by Pig there. Score is 20-14, Primetime. 4 now. After 3 short passes on 4th down at the 45-yard line, Heckel throws deep to Jiggy. Wide open in the middle, who runs it all the way into the end zone. What a touchdown. Frank gets the extra point. 21-20. Suicide takes the lead. The defender tries to stop at the first. Nobody picks up Jiggy, and he goes downfield for the score.
The whole defense is so worried about stopping the first down that they do not see Jiggy come from the sideline and run all the way into the middle, wide open before any defender can respond. That shows when your defense is doing too much. When you show that you're playing a relative goal line defense, just trying to guard the first down, and nobody's paying deep, worrying about the receiver deep, and that's why Jiggy was wide open for the score.
And great opportunity, great chance by Heckel, because if they would have missed this, the team would have turned against him.
Yes.
He took a shot. It was a good idea, good play, big play by him. Creek gets the ball. It's 4 now on 1st down. He throws deep to Meek, open on the sideline, caught in front of the end zone, but a touchdown. 26-21. Ouija stays short, but never points Meek out to the safeties, and Meek finds the end zone again.
And this is a huge mistake, because if you're gonna play the safety, you gotta play the cornerback. You gotta make sure that you communicate with receivers that you give up. If you look here, the safety's looking. I believe that's Jody. Don't quote me, but the safety right here is watching as Meek runs up the sideline. But by the time the safety turns to watch the other receiver, Ouija's still there. But at the last second, when the safety's switching his focus off of Meek, that's when Ouija lets him go. So the communication is not there. The fact that Ouija waited so long to let that receiver go just took the safety off of him. That left Meek wide open for the score. That's a mistake on Ouija. He has to communicate better than that.
26-21, Suicide chasing 5. During the onside, Dev drops the ball. Joe falls on it. Primetime gets the ball back. That is a huge drop by Dev. You can't say they have nothing to do with the fact that earlier he let the ball go. He's all discombobulated right now. Big drop by him, big fumble, and Primetime gets it back. And great play by Joe.
And me personally, I don't think that Dev is a kick returner that catches the ball on onside throws. That's not his style. He's a person that runs from the backfield, waits for the blocks, and he runs and gets his yardage. This is him getting the onside is not his style. And I think that's why he seems like he's out of place, and that's why he's dropping and messing up on plays like this. The first one wasn't his fault, but this one clearly is.
Second down, Creep throws a rail, cutting in the gap, getting him to the 5-yard line. 3rd down, 3rd and goal. Creep finds Pig, opening the back of the end zone. But a touchdown, 32-21. If you look here, Red and Ouija both guard Disco, leaving Pig wide open. Now you gotta know your personnel. No disrespect to Disco, but you can't have both guys going to Disco and leaving Pig open. Pig is Creep's money man. You have to do it the opposite way and make Disco beat you. But I guess they didn't find a formula. I guess they don't watch the show because they would have known that Creep throws a Pig all the time. And here's another touchdown. Pig second of the game.
And the fact that you clearly see that these two guys don't communicate because they are following the same guys. Like, one guy didn't realize the other guy picked up this receiver. And because of that, Pig is the worst person to leave wide open in the end zone, is the person that they give, and that's his second touchdown of the day, right? That's the second touchdown of the day.
Heckel with 3 passes to Rico for a decent gain, getting the first down, but they can't get any further as the time runs out. Game is going to be over. Primetime comes away with the win, 32-21 over Suicide Squad.
Primetime, this team has so many options on offense that it's something that would give any defense trouble. When you have Nas and you have Meek playing the way that they are, so successful that they function as proper decoys, then you have Rel and Pig, their most consistent offensive player, playing the way he is. Then you get other guys open. All it takes is Creep to make proper decisions in the pocket, and this offense will be just fine. The way that they've been scoring this game is the way that they should continue, because that's how you win games, and ultimately that's how you get to where you need to go in the playoffs. So shout out to them. They deserve this well-deserved win, and they moved to 5-2.
I'm going to talk about a few things with Suicide Squad, but I want to first get on one particular play.
Mm-hmm.
We saw something on Instagram that talked about a controversial play, between Rich from Suicide Squad and Pret of Primetime. You saw on BQFL Instagram a play where it looked like Pret hit Rich dirty. Rich lost his mind. I think Rich's reaction was a distraction for his team.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rich has been very out of control in general. I think his intensity helps teams, but then his intensity can hurt a team. I think he talks too much. Bottom line, I don't think he's a bad dude, but he plays out of control. Let's look at the play. This is the football. Now, football's football. Football's going to happen. Certain things going to happen. Certain things is going to be dirty, but it doesn't mean it's intentional. Sometimes it's just the way the speed is moving, which we showed earlier with the game with New Breed. If you look at this play right here, Hecko is going to attempt to run. Mm-hmm. G's blocking. So that means the count is 5 rush.
Yes.
You see Rich coming over, going across the field. Pret, if you look exactly when Rich is stepping up to, exactly when Hecko is stepping up to run, Pret steps up automatically based on reaction. At that same time, Rich is coming over.
Mm-hmm.
At the last second, Pret protects himself, not going to hit him dirty. He never even saw him. And the collision happens here. Now look at it in fast speed. Yeah, that's fast. Look at it in slow-mo. That was not a dirty hit. That was not intentional. And we seen Rich go online, and I don't like to talk about stuff like that, but anything that takes away from our game, I'm going to comment on. Rich said a lot of things, and the league is looking into it now. I don't know what they're coming up with based on a lot of things that Rich said. I'm not going to show what Rich said, but he said a lot of unnecessary things. His anger is understandable. Mm-hmm. But Pret has never been known as a dirty player. A lot of it, your reputation has to step in. Pret has not been known as a dirty player. He's a physical player, and this was not dirty. So I agree with him 110%. Rich is wrong. It's understandable why he's upset, but he's wrong, 110% wrong. And for him to call Pret out and say the things he said on social media is wrong, I think it could be somewhat unnecessary. I'm not going to say cowardly because he said it how he felt, and you can respect that. But I'd rather you inbox him. I'd rather you get in contact with him if you really felt a certain way rather than have an audience and put it on social media. What do you think?
When you have your own teammates telling you that it's not what you think, your own teammates is telling you, yo, it wasn't dirty, it wasn't a bad play or whatever. When you have that happening, you got to take that into consideration. Otherwise, what are you there for if you can't even trust your teammates' judgment? What are you there for? You're supposed to play with the team. And if you're going against your team and going about what you yourself believe and that's it, then there's no reason for you to be a part of that team because you are working contrary to what the team is if you can't trust them. So I get, the game is fast. You probably saw what you saw because you're the only one at the receiving end of what happened. Understandable. But if your own team is trying to tell you, yo, it wasn't like that, if they all saw it and they see that, listen, it wasn't that serious, and you're not listening, now you become the problem. Now you become the distraction on your own team.
And then this team, look what happened in the game. They had 3 turnovers, and all of them was on the kickoff. Hecko played good this game. And I've seen him get on him. I've seen him break on him. I've seen him yell at him. I see him disrespect him. And they lost his game. I didn't see them yelling at themselves. I didn't see them yell at Dev when Dev fumbled that ball. I didn't see them yell at G when G's a block. You still got to know where the ball is at. Allow the ball to hit him in the head or hit him in the shoulder. I didn't see them get on themselves when they told Dev not to catch the ball. Those are all unforced errors. Save me all this, when we do something, the refs do this, or the teams do this. And first of all, Suicide was involved in a crucial fight this past season, for people that don't know. So for them to sit down and say, when we do it, listen, play football. That's what we here for. When I ain't a fight, we ain't no killers. We here to play ball. You lost a game that you should have won. Your quarterback played officially to win this game, and because of 3 turnovers on special teams, that is discipline.
Yeah.
So it's not funny that the same team that was involved in the team fight, the same team that says it's always us, the same team that sit down and got mad saying that Pratt hit them dirty, is the same team that turned the ball over 3 times on special teams. That's all discipline. All discipline. Rich going off sides to give them an extra play, which they scored on, that is discipline.
Yeah.
So let's stop the excuses. Let's stop the BS, and let's play ball. End of the day, Suicide Squad is 4-3. They're still in this division. They're still a good team. They need to stop all the talk, stop all the excuses, and play some damn football. Because you're letting the season slip away. You just won 3 games in a row. Nobody wants to hear the Crimea River. You're too talented. You're definitely respected. Because if he wasn't respected, Pratt would never win a line and said it wasn't on purpose. He would have let it go. Mm-hmm. That's respect. Let's play ball. Let's stop the excuses, and let's play. We're going to wrap this one up. Primetime with the win over Suicide, 32-21. We'll be right back.
So let it go. He said let it go. He said let it go.
Next game we're going to go over is going to be the last game of the day, which is East New York versus Heavy Hitters. Heavy Hitters is coming off with a loss to Gravediggers B team. Heavy Hitters C team lost 20-0. And you're going to have East New York coming away with a win over YG's B team 25-18. Mm-hmm. Now, the division, East New York right now is coming into this game 4-2. As Heavy Hitters are coming into this game 2-4. Heavy Hitters' problem has been offense. Can't score. Noel's been struggling. And the rest of these offensive guys has been struggling. So they have to figure a way to turn it around. Defensively, they're okay. They're not a top defensive team as I look at their stuff. But they're in the pretty much, they're not terrible. They're okay. They have a great defense. They're okay. But it's their offense that's really hurting them. They have to find a way to turn it around and play better offensively. East New York, listen, Prime is about 5th in scoring. Got to give it to him. Guy can score points. But it's not only the scoring, it's the guy's energy. I love doing Prime's games because he talks. He says a lot of weird stuff. Some of it can be ignorant. Some of it can be entertaining. Some of it could be just damn well fun. So at the end of the day, no matter what, when you watch an East New York game, it's going to be one thing, entertaining.
And the main part of the entertainment comes from their quarterback, Prime. Throughout the season, he's very vocal. He's a person who's very animated on the field. A person who's always willing to talk smack, especially when you let him do what he wants to do on offense. You will let him do that, you're going to hear it for the rest of the game. Don't let this man get his
confidence up.
And it's probably one of the worst things a defense has to deal with, a quarterback talking smack throughout the play, because he does not stop from the beginning to the end. And that's one thing that makes this team exciting to watch. All
right, we're going to jump right into the game. Prime is not going to start this game, just to let you know. Chris from Little Rascals is going to start. We're going to jump with Heavy East New York getting 4 and out. Chris throws the 9s on the sideline, who runs in the gap for a decent gain. Second down, Chris on 5 rush runs in the gap for a few more yards. 4th and goal. Chris throws the Chino in the front of the end zone, knocked away by Mo. Turnover on downs. Great stop by Heavy Hitters to get it going, to give them a shot with the ball.
The thing that's throwing me off, that has me at a loss for words, is the fact that Prime, their quarterback, is not in this game right now. No disrespect to Chris, but, when you come to watch East New York, you usually see Prime talking smack from the very beginning of the game. But if you look here, he's on the sideline. I don't know if this is reflective of them not being able to start right away with the scoring because they weren't able to. They ended up getting stopped on this drive. Hopefully this is a fluke. Hopefully this is just this drive. I don't know what's going on, but you see Prime is not playing in this game right now.
Next drive, Noel's going to get the ball. He's going to scramble on fire rush and throws the Mango, who runs for a decent gain. Noel's going to throw the Mango, who tries to cut inside, but runs backwards for a little gain on the play. Heavy hitters can't get any closer to getting a punt. Not even able to pick up a first down, they punt. That's big, talking about a team that can't really score.
Well, as you try to get the first down, at least to keep the drive going, you want to get at least 10 yards on each play. They get some yardage on the first play, but the second play, when they throw the Mango in the gap, he tries to do too much and he loses yards, pretty much bringing them right back to where they started. So at the end of the day, when you make plays like that, you're not going to move forward if you're moving backwards. So that's the logical conclusion. Don't get first downs, and that's exactly what happened here.
First down after getting the first down, Chris throws a missile in the gap for a decent gain. Third down at the 20, Chris throws a Chino open on the sideline for the touchdown. Chino gets by Trinidad before he can react. Knights get the extra 2-point conversion. 8-0, East New York.
East New York is on the board. Listen, this is the second drive, so I'm guessing this is a decision made by Prime himself that he's not going to play this game.
Right.
I may have some reasons of why he's not playing, but the fact is Chris is able to get them into the end zone for the score on this play right here. He notices that the defender does not respond in time. He's able to make a quick pass to Chino on the sideline for the score here.
Heavy hitter's going to get the ball. You're going to end up going 4 and out. Second down, Noel throws Leo in the gap for a decent gain. Third down, Noel throws deep to Jay in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 8-6. Jay makes a great catch, stays in bounds. The question was, did he really stay in bounds?
Looking at this play, we've had a lot of close plays in this day, with catches in the back of the end zone and whatnot. But if you look here, as Jay makes the catch here, first of all, great throw by Noel, putting it right where only Jay can get it. Jay gets the ball, and it looks like he gets his toes right before the line as he falls out. That's an impressive way to stay in bounds right there for the score. But shout out to Noel for making that pass. A lot of people question Noel in the way he's accurate with his passes, but he was clearly accurate here in the way he gets Jay into the end zone for the score there.
East New York gets the ball. They're going to go 4 and out. Second down, Chris throws a Chino on the sideline who runs for a decent gain. 4th and goal, Chris with a quick hike and tries to run, but Flash tags him before he gets over, turnover on downs. That is a great play by Flash. One thing about Flash is he has some speed, which is why he's deserving of the name, and he can shut down Chris running. He does a great play by him there.
And the crazy thing is, they almost caught me with this play with the way they quick hiked the ball. The thing about it is, I personally don't agree with this play because of plays like this. All it takes is one person to miss a block, and they end up making a tag. Flash runs right in, anticipating the run, and he's able to make the tag before Chris is able to extend it into the end zone. Great defense by Flash.
Noel on 5-rush throws short to Mango, who runs in the gap for a decent gain. Third down, Noel throws to Jay open in the middle. That's going to be dropped, and heavy hitters will have to punt their second time punting.
And this, to be able to be forced to punt 2 times in a row after you make a crucial stop in this half is not a good look for this team. They were able to score beforehand, but this one was a missed opportunity because their defense stepped up and make a big stop. You got to find a way to get into the end zone, at least try to move the ball, and they're not able to do that, and they're forced to punt again. This is not looking good right now.
East New York can't get any closer to the end zone. That's going to take us into the half. 8-6. Heavy hit.
Go ahead.
Heavy hit is problem. Can't score. It's been something that's been going on all season. And they have to find a way to change it. Run the ball. Design some running plays where you hit the middle and you run. But Jay is a good receiver. Hollywood is a good receiver. He has some weapons. Mango's a good receiver. You have to find a way. I don't care if it's a screen. I don't care what it is. We have to find a way to move the ball. We should not be punting on 3 possessions. We punt twice. That's not going to get it done. We got to find a way to get some offense out there.
Where is Prime at quarterback? The funny thing is, it's not that he's hurt, because if the excuse is, oh, he's trying to rest himself, he doesn't want to get himself hurt, or if he's hurt or anything like that. But he's playing defense in this game. So it's not that he's hurt. because you wouldn't play defense either. It's not that he's hurt. He just gave Chris the opportunity to throw.
Yeah, I don't.
When he has his own team that he plays for, I don't understand that. And the fact that they only able to score 8 points in the first half, struggling against what is Heavy Hitters' record right now?
2-4.
So they're struggling against a team that's 2-4, that's under 500. You're not able to put up points with, only scoring 8. Is it because Prime is not in this game that they're struggling to score right now? Or is it because Chris is not playing well? Regardless of what, this is Prime's team, and he's not in this game. I don't know what the reason is, but this is not a time to struggle against a team that's 2-4. No disrespect to how heavy it is, but East New York needs to score a lot more points than this.
We're going to jump into the second half. After getting the first down, Noel rolls right on 5 rush with Mango. Nice block as Noel throws to Hollywood, cutting on the sideline for a decent game. That is a great block by Mango. It's not a crackback because it's 5 rush. Once it's 5 rush, there is no middle and you can block. Great play by him there. Third down, Noel throws to the front of the end zone, knocked away by Pop, incomplete. Fourth down, Noel throws it up, knocked away, turnover on downs. I don't understand how you can't get a pass past Pop. I say Pop should never play defense. He should never see the defensive side of the ball. He should never say the word defense, but the guy makes a good play. Noel can't score on Pop, and he comes back with the next play, and he throws it up, and it's a turnover, another stop on him.
And I think that he just tried to throw it past him and surprise him with that play. Fortunately for Pop, he was able to stay focused and able to knock that pass out because receiver was in the end zone for the score. Pop is able to make a good defensive play, and because of that, that's what caused a turnover.
After getting the first down, Chris throws a Chino on the sideline for a nice gain, getting to the 20-yard line. Third down, Chris throws it to Nas, open in the end zone for the touchdown, 14-6. East New York, if you look at Mango lets him go and nobody picks him up, touchdown, East New York.
Lack of communication is all I can say when plays like this happen, because if you're calling a play out, calling Nas out, nobody picks him up, so it seems like nobody else is listening. You got to be on the same page when you're guarding a guy like Nas. He's very hard to guard, and you leave him get any type of space, you're going to have a quarterback like Chris. It doesn't matter what quarterback you have at the helm, they're going to find Nas for that score the same way, so you cannot leave Nas open without communicating and finding out where he's at on the field.
14-6 East New York. Next drive, Noel on first down, throws deep to Jay on the sideline, picked off by Nas. East New York gets the ball back. Noel had a blocker. He could have ran, but took a shot downfield, and that was intercepted.
And I believe that it's because Noel is trying not to run as much as he usually does. But unfortunately, that's a bad decision on this play here because he had the lane to run and he has a blocker. Now, if you look on this play, there's nobody open. So I get that, okay, he had not many options, but you had an option to run, and he doesn't choose that option.
His feet is an option.
There you go. And he doesn't take that option. Because of that, he forces an interception here.
After getting the first down, Chris, with blocking from Malik, throws a Pop, opening the gap for a nice gain at the 15-yard line. Now, this is what Pop do. Great catch by Pop, especially in the red zone. The guy is very dangerous. Good catch there. Third and goal, Chris rolls left, throws a shovel pass to Missile in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 20-6. East New York, and this is something that Prime cannot do that Chris can do. Chris has a better arm than Prime. I think Prime is a little bit of a better runner than Chris, but Chris has a better arm. This is a great shovel pass. The way he was able to run and make the throw as momentum going one way, great play by him.
And the funny thing is, as Chris makes these plays, it's a lot more quiet at the quarterback helm in this game. You don't hear the smack talk. You don't hear the loud talk and all of that. You see Chris just making his plays, doing it quietly, but doing it confidently. Even though he's not the starting quarterback of his team, it looked like he's been starting for this team for a long time, and that is why they're able to connect so well in the second half.
After getting the first down, Noel throws deep to Hollywood, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Hollywood cuts in the back, unguarded. Hollywood gets the 2-point conversion, 20-14. Heavy hitters are creeping back in.
And every now and then, Noel's able to make a good pass to his receiver and connect. Hollywood looks like nobody's focused on him on this play right here, and that is a mistake because he is a decent-sized receiver. Noel's able to connect with him. Because nobody responds to his route, Noel's able to get him for the score.
East New York can't move the ball, and they're going to end up punting the ball. Remember, it's 20-14. Heavy hitters can steal this game. Last drive, third down at the 45. Noel on 5 rush. Throws a flash in the gap for a decent gain in the first down. Second down, Noel throws a J in the gap, getting him to the 15-yard line. Third down, Noel throws it up in the end zone, incomplete. Last down, Noel throws it to Jay in the corner of the end zone, incomplete. Ending the game, Eastern York with the win, 20-14. You do Eastern York.
I don't understand what the decision was to get Prime to let Chris play or start in this game. The only thing that I could come up with was the fact that the Little Rascals forfeited their game earlier than in the morning, and Eastern York decided to give Chris some playing time, to quarterback in this game. But sometimes you would say, "Oh, is that a risk? Putting a quarterback in that hasn't played with my team at the quarterback helm?" But obviously, this risk worked out because Chris, I would say, threw relatively well in this game. He didn't throw perfect, but I would say he didn't force any interceptions or anything like that. So it was a satisfactory performance for him coming in and, taking the helm at quarterback. So was this a bad decision ultimately? No, because they still was able to win the game. But I would question how they move forward in the future. I don't know if that's going to ever happen again, but their offense played well enough to hold for the game. They made a few defensive plays, and this is yet another well-deserved win for this Eastern York team.
Shout out to Eastern York, 5-2. Top in the division, second place. Heavy hitters have a terrible offense. And I'm saying the word terrible because I can't find a word worse than that. And if I did, it would be a disrespect to that word to compare that word to this heavy hitters offense. That's how bad this heavy hitters offense is. And, real tough talk, And first of all, this is no disrespect to nobody, but, I'm a numbers guy. So all I do is the numbers. Heavy hitters had the ball 7 times. They scored twice. That's 28%. So that means if it's 28%, that means you failed 70.
I would say 72%.
72.
Yeah.
If you failed at your job 72%, would you still have a job?
I don't think so.
If I was if I failed with my kids 72% of the time as a dad, can I still consider myself a good dad? No. Heavy hitters got stopped 5 times. 2 out of the 5 times, they couldn't even get a first down. Another one of those times, they threw an interception on first down. This offense is bad. Oh, you thought that was it? No. Let's get to the numbers. Counting this game with this 2-5 record Heavy Hitters got, Heavy Hitters has scored a combined 59 points. 59 points. When I looked it up, looking at the numbers, there's only one team in the league that scores less than that. And it's in the division. In the league. That's including the B, the C, and the C2. The only team that scores less than the Heavy Hitters is the Badgers. 50. Heavy Hitters scored combined 59 points. Badgers have scored a combined 50 points. You know what's the funny thing about that? You want to know what's the funny thing? The Badgers forfeited their last 2 games. They're not even in the league no more. So a team that you scored 9 points more than a team that has dropped out of the league and has forfeited their last 2 games. Gets worse. Heavy hitters are 2-5. You have the unit that in the C that's 0-7, and you have haters gonna hate. I don't know. Yeah, HGH haters gonna hate in the C2 that's 0-7. Heavy Hitters has been shut out more than both of those two teams. Heavy Hitters been shut out 3 times. 0. They didn't score. As Unit been shut out once, and they're 0-7. And Haters Gonna Hate been shut out twice, and they're 0-7. You're telling me you've been shut out the same amount of times as a team that's combined 0-14? Something's wrong. It's bad. This game was bad. This season's been bad. Offensively, you're bad. Noel's not getting it done. I'm sorry. If you looked at the play, now we used to see Noel use his feet. You got to be who you are. You can't attempt to be these other quarterbacks. That is not you. You can't throw bombs on first down. That's not your game. You don't got the arm strength for that. You can't not take a run when you have it wide open with a blocker here.
Yeah.
You can't do that. This season, and there's no disrespect, I talked to the guy. The guy's a cool guy. Noel is very bad this year offensively. Anytime you've only scored 59 points in 7 games, that is an average of 8 points a game. In 7 games, you call it an average of 8. Your total combination of points is the same. It's 9 points more than the team that dropped out. And you just went over them this game. Because of the 14 points you scored this game is why you jumped over them by 9. And they forfeited their last 2 games. That means they did not score. They can't score if they don't play. Mm-hmm. Something's wrong. You went 2 of 7 this game. 7 possessions. You scored twice, 28%. Something is wrong. You got to fix it. It's time to either go with another quarterback or go with a whole new game plan offensively because this don't work. You have Jay, you have Hollywood, you have Mango. You should not only be scoring 59 points combined.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap this one up. Easton Young with the win, 20-14. Now we're going to give you a rundown of all the games, our player of the week, and we're going to wrap this show up. We're going to give you the rundowns of the scores. Newbury beat Shockers 47-46. Blackout beat Rockstars 22-21. Gravediggers beat YGs 18-0. Primetime beat Younger Repkins 20-0. That was the B. The C division, YGs beat the unit 20-7. Chiefs beat Gravediggers 24-7. Raiders beat Brotherhood 26-20. Primetime beat Suicide Squad 32-21. Sour beat the unit 32-20. Eastern York beat Heavy Hitters 19-14. C2 division, Primetime beat Power Circle 26-7. Wolfpack beat Haters Gonna Hate 28-20. Little Rascals forfeited to Power Circle, so Power Circle gets to win 18-0. And Little Rascals forfeited to Bullies. That's gonna get Bullies to win 18-0. Now I'm gonna give you the records. In the B division, they got 1 game left. Blackout 7-0. Shockers 5-2. Primetime 4-3. Rockstars 4-3. Gravediggers 2-3-2. Young and Reckless 2-4-1. Newbury 2-4-1. YGs 2-5. That is your B. We're gonna go with your C. Mm-hmm. C division. Raiders 6-1. Primetime 5-2. Eastern York 5-2. YGs 4-3. Brotherhood 4-3. Suicide Squad 4-3. Chiefs 3-4. Heavy Hitters 2-5. Sour Factory 1-4. Gravediggers 1-5. Unit 0-7. That was the C division. We're gonna wrap it up with the C2. Primetime 7-0. OTF 5-2. Little Rascals 5-2. Power Circle 5-2. Chiefs 3-3. Bullies 2-4. Wolfpack 2-5. Badgers 1-5. They had dropped out the league. And HGH 0-7. The key matchup. Now I'm disappointed in Little Rascals. They forfeited their last 2 games. Yeah. Now we're not going to see a game of Primetime versus Little Rascals because they are no longer undefeated. But Little Rascals have not lost a game on the field. But because of that forfeit, I'm jumping off the bandwagon. Let me jump off. Because there's no way you have an opportunity to lock up first place and you forfeit back-to-back games against teams that you would probably have beat easily. So that's the big game coming up. The question is, Primetime versus Lil Rascals. Will Tiki let the guys play? I think he would. I think Tiki's competitive. I think Tiki already locked up the 1 seed. So nothing he can do can knock him out of winning the 1 seed, no matter what these other teams do. But I think at the end of the day, Tiki wants to show he can beat Little Rascals. He's been hearing Little Rascals all season. He's tired of hearing Little Rascals. He wants to show he can beat this team. I think they're going to play that game.
I mean, not only Tiki, I think Quick wants to rise to the challenge. So he's going to be here. He's going to play that game, looking to show that they have a better team overall than the Little Rascals. And what better way to show that you have the better team than to beat that team that you say you're better than? So I believe that they were looking forward to that challenge. And Little Rascals missed the opportunity to stand on top of the division. I believe that they pretty much handed it. But I don't think that they're worried too much about that because it's about where they are in the playoffs. And
Chris said he wants to score 40 on them.
yes.
So he wants to, yeah.
My
He
thing
already
is,
told me.
and the thing about
Chris
it
is the quarterback of Lil Rascals.
And the thing about it is the way, him getting some practice time and starting for Eastern York, he looked pretty good for that team, even though that was the first time he played at quarterback with that team. So he's showing that he can put up points no matter what team he starts with. So I think that he's also looking forward to that challenge facing this Primetime team. So it's going to be an exciting game.
In the C division, I think the Raiders already showing that they're number 1 seed. I think Primetime and Eastern York will have to battle it out for who's going to get the 2nd seed. I still think Brotherhood has the opportunity to turn it around. They're 4-3. They're still one of the top scoring offenses in that division. I think they have an opportunity to turn it around. But I think Sour Factory is a team that you cannot sleep on because Mimi finds a way to win games. They're only 1-4. But I think that that's a very dangerous sleep team.
My only question is a question that you kind of asked early on in our coverage of this week, is that will the Raiders be able to pick up some of these guys that were playing with the Shockers?
Yeah.
Will they become regular stays for this team? Will they become regular members of this team for the rest of the season? It's a possibility. And if they do get these guys to play, how much better can they make this team, in my opinion, a team that's already 6-1? That's the main question for me. How would this work out for this team, and would it benefit with them winning throughout the playoffs?
And in the B division, everything comes down to who don't want to play blackout.
Yeah.
You do not want to play blackout in the first round. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not saying you're scared to play them, but you don't want to play them in the first round. And these teams at the bottom, listen, it's all mixed up right now. Newbury with a very important win. They're tied with Young and Reckless, who they have beat. So right now, Young and Reckless fall to the number 7 seed, and YGs are the 8th seed. If YGs can win their last game, and YGs gonna play Primetime, if YGs can beat Primetime, right, and Young and Reckless lose, who they have? Shockers. YG, Young and Reckless will end up falling and possibly having to play blackout in the first round. You don't want to play blackout in the first round. And everybody, because of this win, especially this impressive win with Newbury beating Shockers, everybody feel they have an opportunity against the Shockers now.
I would too, because if the way that they were able to win just shows that you could compete with this team regardless of what. But I don't see many teams doing that same thing, because it took Newbury to score 47 points to beat this Shockers team. So just because they were able to beat them, it doesn't mean that it wasn't a hard-fought battle for this team to win. I don't see many teams being able to match that against the Shockers team. So they may feel like they'd be able to compete with the Shockers, but I don't think that it's going to work out for them in the same way on the field.
And I think the Rockstars are the sleeper team in the B division.
Yes.
They just lost to Blackout 22-21. Now, we've seen a few chinks in Blackout's armor. They barely snuck out the win versus Rockstars. They barely snuck out that win between Young and Reckless. They barely stuck out that win against the Shockers. This team comes away with close wins that they should lose. So this team can be beat. You just got to take advantage of the opportunities. And again, there's certain teams. Rockstars and Newbury are two teams I do not want to play in the playoffs. They are both momentum teams. If they get that crowd going behind them, they get that little momentum going, they can be tough. And you saw that they were willing to stand up to Blackout. It's not about being scared. Not about fighting. But they was willing to stand up. And that is the key. When you play a team like Blackout, the number 1 seed, you have to stand up to them. Because if you give them an opportunity to kick you when you're down, they're going to keep kicking. We're going to wrap this one up. Our play of the week we both agreed on is going to be Newbury's starting quarterback, Eli, with that win over Shockers. Eli with 5 touchdown passes. Don't get me wrong. We won. We talked about giving it to Darnell.
Yeah.
But Eli had 5 touchdown passes. I believe Darnell had 3.
He had
catches.
4.
He had 4 catches. Rai had 1. But the ability for Eli to be able to move the ball around is amazing. I think they should be co-players of the weeks. 2 guys on the same team that help shock the Shockers.
Yes, I believe so, but I still believe that Eli kind of edges them out because Eli was very composed. He didn't make too many mistakes in this game, and he was able to help them drive down the field. Besides that one toss-up to Darnell where it was tipped to him, Eli earned his way into the end zone every single time. So to say that he doesn't deserve it is I would say it's pretty much criminal at this point. He deserves the player of the week because he played lights out, and he was the main reason why this team won that game versus the Shockers. So he's my player of the week.
And he's my pick. So Eli is a player of the week. Definitely shout out to him, one of the oldest quarterbacks in the division. He is the oldest quarterback in the division throwing. Yeah. And this man is sweating up points. He's giving Newbury the opportunity to actually upset the world. We're going to wrap this one up. On behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J., my partner Ghost, and we're going to see y'all next week. Season's almost over. It's wrapping up. Time to get the popcorn ready for the playoffs. We see y'all next week, guys.